It is a very weird realization when you realize that actually it doesn't even matter whether or not you like a proposal or like whether or not you think a good proposal is good. It only matters like the price relative to the value of the proposal. But yeah, so also I don't know, some of you guys probably saw Drift announce that they're going to be using this for their grants, which is really awesome. And Dean's List and Dark are also, I think Dark is guaranteed. I'm the programmer, so now probably knows more than me about. Yeah, actually, maybe now. Do you want to talk about some of the other DAOs that are going to use futarchy as a service? Given I don't have all the context.
Yeah. So we've been in communication with OR, which should be very interesting to see what happens there. We've been in conversation with Dean's List. Dean was raised his hand first and foremost, so that's exciting. It's exciting to see like within the community that there exists all these other communities, and the interest is there for the experimentation and to experiment with us together. So I think that's really exciting. And then obviously Future DAO, Dark, Dark, which is explain that to me, Prophet, because I don't think that I fully grasped. And I was looking through our Telegram messages and realized that all the messages had auto deleted. So I was trying to go back for reference.
Yeah, so Dark is probably a lot of you guys know Elusive Light Protocol like shut down their private payment stuff. And so Dark is bringing back private payments to Solana. This project been around for a while, but yeah, it's going to be governed by futarchy. They're like private payments protocol thing.
Yeah, so and then obviously Drift, and we've been in communication with Drift for a while now. It was exciting to have them announce to go through that, and part of our benevolent dictatorship for 3 months was to be able to enter agreements to make sure that we could assuage any legal or compliance questions that they may have with it. So that was the big thing that was, pending with a lot of that beforehand. And they're really engaged with it and really interested in seeing, what can be done, obviously. Um, and then I do know that we're in discussions with other protocols, other tokens, and we're really interested to hear from people. So if people are interested or somebody, we're happy to have those conversations and get started. And we'd love to have more people on DevNet for sure. So if you just want to experiment and play around on DevNet, that's perfectly acceptable, and we've got our system set up to handle that.
May I ask for a clarification regarding the implementation of futarchy as a service on these new communities? Will we be able to play in DevNet with the native tokens of the communities, or the DevNet native tokens at least, or
Yes.
we're going to have to do it with meta token?
No. It's your DevNet tokens. So if you have a DevNet token or you want us to create one, like we've been requesting 1 billion tokens from people. People are like, I've never I don't think we'll ever see that many tokens. So the plan is to be able to have a mechanism to distribute that. Happy to do that manually if people want to play around with it. Obviously, we're looking for good feedback from people, but if you've got a team,
I mean,
and they want to play around with
our middle name in Dean's List DAO is feedback, and we despite not announcing to the community that we will be engaging in the experiment of futarchy as a DAO, we did not announce it, and still MetaDAO was the number one project to be voted to actually provide feedback, especially the futarchy as a service. So you should count on an army of Dean's List members that will want to test and play around with this new product. Very, very excited.
Awesome. Yeah, I see plenty of Dean's List PFPs in the call with us right now.
So I was going to bring.
Cool.
I brought Lucas up because he's got the he can display some stuff. He's got it running locally on his machine, so I invited him up to go ahead and do some very cursory walkthrough.
Very cursory. Hey, yeah, I heard that staging was broken, and I figure probably it was me, so I should probably you know, provide the solution here. So I'm going to share my screen and we can see what we're cooking with right now. In terms of faas, futarchy as a service. And right now we've got this test proposal on devnet for Dean's List. And we have, this is one of our first AMM proposals where it's an AMM market that you can swap and deposit liquidity on. And I've got some conditional tokens, and then yeah, so you deposit tokens, you swap. We've got the passive field market over here. We'll have spot price and TWAP charts so you can see the performance of the proposal over time. And then over here, we've just got like our fun little list of DAOs that we're queuing up with our test data. We've got MetaDAO, Future, Dean's List, or Drift, Dark that we've all been working with. And then you got a cute little sidebar here too that you can, click into somebody. Clicked into Future DAO and I can scroll their proposals and click into one. I can go over MetaDAO. Which one should I click though? Not much going on in here, but you get the idea. You can browse and you can, click into proposals and trade them. Anything else, Malik, you think want to check out?
No, I think there's a lot of polish that's going to go into this. You guys are going to have a lot more to look around and play around with. But like this is where we're at, and it's functionally mostly functionally complete. Now we're starting to pull index data in so that we can do displays. This is all communicating with RPC and the data. So this is loaded with partial RPC, partial API, so that you can, this is live devnet data and information there. So, yeah, we're excited. There's going to be feature, we're going to get to the point where we can launch proposals, people can trade, and then there's a feature rollout that continues until May 21st for the deadline of the proposal, where you'll be able to create proposals. You'll be able to do a bunch of other things from this UI. So that should be very exciting for people. The only other thing I think is worth mentioning is that we are stressing backwards compatibility for the other markets so that people can access their funds. We're going to make it so that you can't trade the historical markets, but you will have data display and information on those historical markets, so you can withdraw from it. Our goal is to deprecate, the old UI, but we don't want to lose access to funds for people over there. So definitely interested, and we're really keen to add additional features and trade, not just AMM but trade order books as well, and control that whole, or own the full experience that is futarchy.
Yeah, that's a great point about the program version. You can see up here, like we've got different versions of our autocrat and similar programs for trading, and we are with the current UI. You have to navigate to different program versions to trade each one or view the historical data. But in the new UI, we'll be able to just you'll see which version it's on to give you that context, but it'll load all the versions for you. Yep. Thanks
Awesome.
for checking it out.
Thanks for showing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. In other news, well, actually, I have a quick anecdote. So I was speaking to an investor last Friday who was at Mountain Dow, and he told me that they were an early investor in Solana, and so he was going into the Solana offices to meet with Anatoly and Raj. And apparently, the first thing that Anatoly asked her when she came in is, "Are you a futard?" Which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, so that's a fun anecdote. And other news, oh yeah, compensation. So we finally are like finishing the retro compensation. Essentially, 200 meta, which is like 1.5% of supply, is being sent out to people right now. It'll be vested over 1 year, and that's just like to pay for everything that's happened in MetaDAO until now that hasn't already been paid for with cash. Going forward, I think compensation. Yeah, we've got a plan where we're gonna essentially try to structure ourselves a little bit more like a startup with regards to compensation, as opposed to what most crypto projects do. And so, yeah, trying to solve the issues of like, uh, yeah, the issues of that plenty of crypto projects face, where the project starts doing well, and then insiders are able to dump, and then usually kind of like fade away, which is something that I've unfortunately seen happen plenty of times in my time in crypto, and now as well. And so what we're doing is going to pay ourselves with options that are locked for 4 years. So essentially, like, you don't really get that quick liquidity. And yeah, that's basically the plan there. I don't know if Nalik, you wanted to add anything on that, but yeah.
No,
Yep.
I think I'm really
Cool.
encouraged to build a product. Not just a product, but build a entity in crypto that adheres to my ethos and the ethos of what I believed crypto to be. I The more I learn about different industries, the more I come to understand how things really work, the more dissuaded I get. And there was a time in crypto that I was really not interested in participating in this industry that I've dedicated a decade of my life towards, and really excited to finally put some things in motion that seem to align, and then that itself is a product or a solution. And I'd be really encouraged to see other projects undertake it and then establish more faith or more understanding on what we can expect to do here, and not get a bunch of half finished projects out the door, and not be satisfied with 10,000 users, but instead be satisfied with our hundreds of millions of users.
Yep, totally. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty common in crypto to be cynical. I think even among most of the builders I know, most of them don't even believe in crypto long term. They just think number will go up. But then, like, we won't, I don't know, achieve what like crypto originally aimed to achieve. And I think these are all just like engineering and incentive problems. Like, there are just clear incentives that cause people to do things that don't accelerate crypto's adoption. And because they're just incentive problems, like, you can fix them. And so that's what we plan to do. And governance problems. So yeah, futarchy plus like fixing the incentives around projects. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, right?
Can you hear me?
Henry,
You want me to say some stuff? So the stuff that I'm working on at the moment is just like an offshoot of all this stuff, right? So we're getting the AMM, we're getting futarchy as a service, and one of the things that people have kind of been interested in is a market for the conditional tokens to the underlying tokens. So you can trade your fail meta for real meta, or your fail USDC for real USDC. And so what I'm doing is sort of like, well, I suppose right now I'm writing the R scripts that will keep everything in line. But I think that if we have these markets, it will force the price. It might, it potentially could force the price of the fail markets down if the probability of the fail market winning is quite low. So it might actually keep the markets more efficient. So it's just an experiment in what can we do to keep the conditional markets like properly efficient and like resistant to manipulation and stuff like that. So that's what I'm working on at the moment.
awesome. So I think that might be it. Nico, do you want to close us out?
Or does Dirt want to say anything?
Oh yeah.
Or does anybody
Yeah.
else want to say anything? Yeah, let's get Dirt up
Can you
here.
hear me? Yeah, right when I got invited on stage, I literally got booted from my Discord and everything froze up. So that was I apologize for that. But sounds like you guys probably got the TLDR from MetaMat, and I just wanted to say, seeing that front end design, my God, that's sexy. You guys are going to make it very difficult for us to leave and go to our own front end. So I'm happy that we won't have to do that anytime in the near future. And I just wanted to say I'm looking forward to a future where we can use markets to decide whether or not we should do a hostile takeover, because it's very applicable for these situations. And yeah, honestly, super stoked we're aligned and looking forward to it.
I guess your goal is to be like the T Boone Pickens of crypto, or like the hostile raider.
Why not?
Is that how you see yourself?
It's multifaceted. Like right now, we're going after derugging because it's a very hot narrative, and the tool we're building really applies to that. And that kind of requires people and communities to step up. And so we're in like an education moment of having to onboard people and then incentivize people with future tokens and new token launches to grab a hold of the community that's been rugged and change the future. But really, a really big part of this, and I know Tregs will agree and the rest of the team will agree, is the ability to do on-chain hostile takeovers. Now that's a bigger goal, but it's certainly possible. So it's two-part there.
Love it. Got to maximize that shareholder value. Am I right?
Exactly. If anybody has questions, you can hit me up. My Twitter's open. I'm here to answer. Leave you guys to it. Thanks, boys.
Yeah, you can check in the chat. Some people are asking you, how does the derugging work? There are other questions if you want to answer.
All right.
The chat of the voice channel, written chat.
I was going to say, just be careful getting on a podcast with them, because you may have to re-record half of it.
Damn, between that podcast recording, forgetting to click it, and then rugging on this when I got pulled on stage, I'm striking out. One more, it's over with you.
Do we have any questions, or are we good? I like to keep these short so that people can join. I feel like pressured to join a 3-hour powwow, you know? Cool. Okay, yeah, I don't think there are any questions. So, yeah, thank you guys for joining, and thank you for participating in potentially the future of human civilization. And yeah, we'll see you guys around. So, yeah. Nico,
Thanks,
do
everybody.
you want to close us out?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys. The recording should have worked finally. We cover mostly everything. Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming, and see you next time.
Yeah.